welcome back to the channel, guys, with me, everyone's favourite, Poison Smurf. Today I want to have a quick chat to you about the recent update, title update 10.1 on Tuesday, and all the changes we've had to loot and gear, etc. So today, what I want to do is I want to grind gear sets. I'm trying to finish off a build at the moment, and I'm just looking for my two last pieces. So obviously we're going for the targeted loot, and we'll see if we can pick them up today. Now, since Tuesday, like I say, there has been a lot of changes, and one thing that definitely has been noticeable is the definite improvement to stats. Like, multiple people are obviously showing what they're picking up this week, and God rolls have never been more available. The question is, are they actually God rolls that we actually want and are looking for? Because when you look at the stats and your chances of actually getting the correct gear drop, well, I hate to break it, but they are still really slim. As good as the changes have been, there still needs to be more improvement. Hopefully they'll take this on board and we'll keep on seeing improvements to the loot. But only time will tell with that. So currently we have, I believe, is 10 gear sets available. So if you were to go for a targeted loot, you would only have literally a 1 in 10 chance of getting the correct gear set. Now, of that gear set, obviously there are 6 pieces, so that 1 in 10 now actually becomes a 1 in 60 chance of getting the gear piece that you want. Problem is, with that comes multiple stats. When you think we have obviously your primary stats, secondary stats, some even have third stats, they have mod rolls, talents. When you actually sit there and do the maths, well, to be honest guys, it gets a little bit disheartening and a little bit scary. Like, for example, right now I'm looking for a future initiative holster. So if I look at my chances of actually getting that, well, to be honest, I'm actually 4 times more likely to be struck by lightning. 4 times. I know that sounds a little bit sensational, but if you go over the numbers, it actually is correct. So, you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting the correct gear set. You have a 1 in 60 chance of getting the correct piece of that gear set. When you think you have 3 primary stats, weapon damage, skill tier, and armor, that 1 in 60 now actually becomes a 1 in 180 chance. We've got 12 secondary skills. That then makes it even worse. Now we're up to 1 in 2,160 chance. Bearing in mind there are 24 talents in the game currently, you're now down to a whopping 1 in 51,840 chance. Now, bearing in mind, like I say, being struck by lightning is only 1 in 12,000 chance. Like I say, you're 4 times more likely to be struck by lightning than to find what you want. Now, if we somehow were to perfect a way that we could find where we could actually form 1 piece a minute. Now, that's excessive and being well overly generous, because I think we all agree that that's not doable. But even at 1 piece per minute, you're still looking at approximately 864 hours or 36 days, guys, to grind the 1 piece that you're looking for. Now, for me, I'm all for grinding and so on, but that seems a little excessive. And I haven't even got to the worst bit yet. If you're actually farming for a bag or a chest piece, well, guys, I hate to say it, you're almost more likely to win the lottery. Because when you look at your chances of that, well, they're actually unbelievable. For a bag and a chest piece, you're looking at the same 1 in 10 chance to get the correct gear set, 1 in 60 chance of getting the correct piece of the correct gear set. Then you see 3 primary stats, that becomes 1 in 180. We have secondary stats on these, that makes it 1 in 2,160 chance. We also have third stats on these, making it a whopping 1 in 25,000 chance. Then we take on board that they also have mod slots. Now we're 1 in 77,000 chance. And then we've got 24 gear talents, making a whopping 1 in 1.8 million chance of getting the correct piece. I nearly fell through the floor when I worked this out. And once again, here's yet another kicker. With the current drop of targeted loot being approximately 40% of the gear you will actually get, that number's more like 4.5 million. 1 in 4.5 million, guys, to get the piece that you want. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not really feeling that. That's 1,296 days game time. 3.5 years grinding, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at 1 piece per minute. Now, no. Bearing in mind season and updates are approximately 12 to 13 weeks long. Changes in meta, changes in gear sets come along that time. Builds are only viable for 12 to 14 weeks, guys. It's going to take you 5 times longer than that to get the piece that you want, by which time it's already been nerfed and is no use to you. It's balmy. I think we realistically need a huge change to being able to farm gear sets. Now, rather than just sit there and criticise, and no, this is not good enough, that's not good enough, I do have a couple of suggestions that I'm curious what you guys think. Now, we all know in the projects tab, we have daily and weekly projects, which, as far as I know, a lot of people don't even bother with anymore. If we just take a quick look at them, for example, where am I looking? So that's the weekly one, so the daily one. As you can see, it only asks for a couple of little things. What I'm going to suggest is, if you complete a daily project, why not allow us the ability to change two targets, change their targeting loot? So at the moment, where we have one area where you can get gear sets today, if I complete these daily projects, why not allow me the ability to change 2 locations to a set or something that I'm actually looking for in grinding, allowing me to grind all day but not have to play just the one single mission or activity time and time again. I think we're all in agreement that the grind on this game with the same contact has got a little bit tedious, but I really feel like that could kind of like ease the burden, make it a little bit more enjoyable, give us a little bit more variety with the things that we actually can grind. I don't know, what do you guys think? I'll be curious, because the way things are right now, like I say, I'm just fed up with spending 2-3 months grinding, finally getting the piece that I want, perfecting a build for a new update just to come out to make it completely obsolete. Now, we could take this even one step further. Like I say, with meta changing roughly on average every 10-12 weeks, what I was going to suggest was this. Like, if we look at our projects, obviously we just had the first suggestion regarding our daily projects. If we look at the weekly ones, there's quite a lot of things to do on there. I mean, to grind. And what do we get in return for it? We get a bounty. Now, if I wanted to get a bounty that much, I would just go and have a 2-second conversation with the snitch. I wouldn't want to grind 2-3 hours worth of content just for that. So how about, if you complete your weekly projects, rather than rewarding us with a bounty, why not reward us with a single, triple god rolled piece of gear we actually want? Now, I know what you're all thinking straight away. I mean, that maybe seems like a little excessive. Well, bearing in mind, most gear sets and builds, you're looking at 6 pieces. It's still going to take you 6 weeks, guys, to be able to perfect a 6-piece God's Roll build. And like I say, with seasons being 12 weeks, that would give you 6 weeks to grind your build, and then 6 weeks to enjoy it. Now, for me, that doesn't really seem that unfair. I think that's quite a happy medium. I don't mind grinding, guys, but what I want is I want rewarding for my time. I don't want to put 2 or 3 months into a game looking for something, never find it, and just be disheartened. Now, if I know I actually had a checklist, if I work my way and complete this, this and this, and I am going to get this, well, there's just so much more incentive for me to then do that. The worst thing is with the targeted loot, these numbers that I'm giving you guys are based on 100% of the targeted loot being what you're actually looking for and grinding for, which actually isn't the case. We all know when you do targeted loot, you're going to get a handful of weapons in there with that. You're going to get a handful of skill mods in there with that. Now, this is frustrating, because if I wanted to farm a weapon, I'd be doing targeted loot for a weapon. The same with mods. I think that these need to be removed. If I'm targeting for a Seska chest piece, or a Seska brand, I think maybe all the loot should be Seska. If not, it kind of undermines what we're doing. Anyway, that will do it for today's video, guys, but I just want to hear your thoughts on that and any other suggestions or ideas you may have to improve your chances. Until then, I'm going to be sitting here for the next 3.5 years trying to grind this single gear piece. Hopefully my RNG will change and I may have a chance of getting it, but maybe not. So, any comments, guys, feel free, leave them down in the box below. Any suggestions you want to hear, let me know. Maybe we can put it to the devs and hopefully continue this change. But until then, guys, keep on the good luck. Keep your fingers crossed for your RNG and embrace the grind. And I'll see you in the next one.